Today on UI7 Newsbreak.
After consultation with the Champaign County State's Attorney's Office, an arrest warrant was issued for Robbie Patton, a male from Champaign, for the offenses of first-degree murder and aggravated battery with a firearm.
Police have identified the primary suspect, warning that he is still considered armed and dangerous.
Then
my hand to my back, I noticed the blood.
A sobering scene took place last night as students mourned the loss of a 22-year-old man.
Your UI7 Newsbreak starts right now.
From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus, this is your UI7 Newsbreak.
Hello, I'm Andrew Muser.
And I'm Jean Kang.
Today we start with a developing story. This morning, Champaign Police Department held a press conference on the recent shootings in Champaign.
Authorities identified a main suspect responsible for the murder of a 22-year-old.
Champaign Police Department are actively looking for Champaign local Robbie Patton. The 18-year-old was found as the main suspect from Sunday morning's Green Street shootings that took the life of George Korchev and left 2 other victims wounded. Authorities issued an arrest warrant for Patton's offense for first-degree murder and aggravated battery with a firearm. CPD determined a fight broke out during a party in an apartment at 306 East Green that made its way into the parking lot of the complex. After surveillance video from Evergreen Tobacco showed the altercation in the parking lot, police determined Patton was the main suspect of the case. Lieutenant David Schaefer informs the public to be aware as the suspect remains at large.
Are seeking the public's assistance in locating Robbie Patton, who is considered armed and dangerous. Anyone with information concerning his whereabouts is asked to contact the Champaign Police Department Investigations Division.
The public can contact 217-351-4545 or email police at champaign.il.gov. In Champaign, I'm Dakota Carson, UI7 Newsbreak.
While the investigation continues, the aftershock of the shooting is still being felt around campus. UI7's Lauren Scafidi tells us how it has affected university students that were nearby the night of the crime.
At first, my friend thought, he thought it was fireworks.
What he heard, though, was not a few fireworks. What he heard was a few gunshots.
So much happened so quick. It developed so fast.
Gilbert was outside 309 Apartments walking eastbound on the 300th block of Green Street. He saw a big crowd in the parking lot between the post office and Evergreen Tobacco.
First, it was just me being nosy, me trying to see something happen. And then after a while, I was like, okay, it's getting crazy.
A closer look led him to find why there was a crowd. He saw a man who appeared to be unconscious and laying in a pool of his own blood.
I never thought I would see that. Never.
Gilbert ran quickly down the street and took a different route home to safety than he usually does.
The tragedy happened behind me and to my left. He was shot in the parking lot between the Evergreen Tobacco Store and the post office on the 300th block of East Green Street. If we take even just a couple steps to my right, we can see how close in proximity the scene is to the Red Lion, where patrons were held inside while police were outside investigating the scene.
Cody James was inside the Red Lion when the shooting occurred.
And then all of a sudden people started coming inside, and the security guards, or not the security guards, the doormen or whatever, started telling people get inside. So then we were like, whatever, maybe a fight's happening outside.
While being held inside, James learned the commotion was caused not by a bar fight, but by gunfire. As soon as he heard what was actually happening, all he wanted was to go home to his apartment on the 400th block of Green Street, but he wasn't able to because it was blocked off by police.
It's just scary. It's kind of like a reality check.
Also scared by the shooting this weekend is Sean Epstein. He's lived and worked in Champaign for over 15 years. While toy guns are reminiscent of his past, he never thought actual guns would be used in his hometown.
When we were kids, playing with Nerf guns was just a staple, in our diet for, kids and playing around. And, I don't know what went wrong. We're here for a reason, and not to kill each other.
And while some students are reacting, others are mourning. The Illinois Student Senate hosted a candlelit vigil Tuesday night on the U of I's main quad. in remembrance of those hurt by the shootings this past weekend. Members of the Student Senate passed out candles to the crowd and took a moment of silence to honor a life that was lost. Students, locals, and law enforcement officers gathered as candles were lit in special remembrance of George Korchev, the 22-year-old man from Mundelein who was struck by a stray bullet as he was walking by. Guest speakers included Vice Chancellor Rene Romano, Rabbi Schachter, and Eric Lassane, a wounded survivor and friend of Mr. Korchev. Robert Jones also made an appearance to send his condolences to the victims. Students were asked to look out for one another and to stick together during these tough times.
In other gun-related news, what started off as a protest against recent police shootings in Charlotte hit closer to home on Sunday evening. Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority held a rally on the quad that brings attention to injustice against the African American community.
Sunday evening, the rally held by AKA started with a prayer on the events that happened near campus this weekend. Members from the community, including students, sat and gathered around the Illini Union, all wearing black. This action signified them standing together in solidarity as one, disregarding race. U of I junior Malik Evans says he's sick and tired of being sick and tired.
People are dying, like my people, Black lives are dying every single day, and I'm so tired of it. I'm seeing it on social media. Every time I wake up on Facebook, I wake up a Black life gone. And that can be to help somebody else in the future, and I think of stuff like that, you know.
Evans carried a flag on his back during the entire rally. He says he wanted people to really grasp the message being sent. Students of all nationalities and backgrounds came out to support AKA sorority and help spread the message of social injustice. Rally leaders asked each student to read the name on a paper that was handed out in the beginning of the rally. Each participant said a different name, all at the same time. These names were those of African American victims of police shootings. President of the graduate chapter of AKA, Jolene Caroline, said that the rally wasn't only to bring awareness, but to also let our voices be heard.
We just wanted to make sure we bring awareness to this and also working together with the police department to raise our concerns, make sure our voices and our concerns are being shared on both sides.
President Caroline urged everyone to pick up pieces of chalk and write names and encouraging messages on the walkways throughout the quad. Towards the end of the rally, members of AKA sorority asked everyone to come together for a group photo. Many of the participants raised a fist in the air to symbolize Black power. To conclude the rally, U of I senior and member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, Timothy Morris, gave a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King. He said, "We must live together as brothers or perish together as fools." In Urbana, Jordan Roberts, UI7 News.
How local music artists aren't shying away from showcasing their talents, as well as how university organizations are looking to keep local bike riders safe.
Then we preview the Illini men's baseball team as they take the field for the first time this offseason. We'll be right back with more UI7 Newsbreak.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
The growing music scene in Champaign, Urbana has more artists wanting to showcase their talents.
UI7 Newsbreak, Luke Shakota has more on what this trend means for local musicians.
Farm Center renovations nearing completion, the stadium will hold a series of concerts for popular music artists such as Dierks Bentley, the 1975, and Pentatonics during the last weekend of October. Also, the Pygmalion Festival in Champaign brought in many other artists that traveled the nation, such as Joan of Arc and Future Islands. The local music scene appears to be growing as a result. Students at the University of Illinois, such as junior Jade Hilton, is one of many student artists that has taken advantage of performing in local areas.
Like, Joe's is a good start. They just started doing live music last year, and that's like a big start. And I know Cam's has done it before. I don't know how big they're into it, but I don't know, even like, I just came from the CSO, watching the CSO perform here at Cranard, and it was a packed house. It shows that people do support the music here.
Other venues around the area, such as Cowboy Monkey, Memphis on Main, and The Accord, are also looking to bring in artists to perform. The Accord and Memphis on Main have even hosted the Pygmalion Festival for over a decade. Also, the Cranard Center for Performing Arts is an on-campus center that is continuing to allow local artists to perform on small stages, such as the one in its lobby. The director for Cranard, Mike Ross, believes that this is a great opportunity that local artists can't pass up.
It's certainly my view that Cranard Center should be a place that embraces not just the most well-known artists on the planet, but also local artists who have local following and artists who are just getting their chops.
And with the increase in these venues allowing live music for unknown artists, the number of local artists receiving more exposure continues to rise. In Champaign, Luke Shakota, UI7 Newsbreak.
Elsewhere in Champaign, local organizations partnered up to install free bike lights last Thursday in the annual Light the Night bike distribution event. Volunteers installed free bike lights while also educating bikers on safety. With around 6,000 bikes on campus, organizers used this opportunity to educate the campus community about bicycle safety and inform cyclists on laws requiring bikes to have lights on at night. Illinois Rules of the Road requires that every bicycle in use at nighttime must be equipped with a white light on the front that is visible from 500 feet and a red reflector on the rear visible from 600 feet. Volunteers from the Bike Project of Urbana-Champaign installed about 1,000 bike lights at 2 locations, one at the Alma Mater located at Green and Wright, and the other at the Haleen Gateway on Lincoln and Illinois.
Now we head to the Diamond, where the Fighting Illini baseball team went head-to-head Monday in the program's annual Orange and Blue World Series. UI7's Mike O'Neill tells us more about what Illini baseball focuses on this offseason.
Illini baseball is back for a sneak preview this fall as the team split into 2 and squared off. Larry Houston is among fans who could not be more thrilled to get an early look at a program that has had its fair share of recent success.
We're super excited about Illini baseball. We attended most of the games last year, the home games anyways, and just love it. Big-time fans.
Houston thinks the team has a lot of potential, even though nearly 2/3 of the players are underclassmen.
I think there's a lot of talented young kids on this team. There's some experienced, good veteran players, but there's a lot of young talent here. Obviously, with young kids, you don't know what you're going to get, but I think there's a lot of talent there, and I think they have a chance to be a very good team.
Sophomore right fielder Bren Spillane made his presence well known with a trio of home runs. The Wheeling native contributed 6 RBIs in the Orange's 16-0 victory over the Blue. The Orange's 4-man pitching tandem, highlighted by freshmen Luke Schilling and Joey Gerber, combined for a 3-hit shutout.
Even though the Orange won handedly in Game 1 of the series, head coach Dan Hartleb does not focus on the score. He says he looks for overall team progress when it comes to events like these.
You know, anytime you're playing yourself, you're going to have some good things and bad things. But I was just impressed, you know, with the progress of our guys, and really thought we swung the bat well. Everybody at one time or the other threw some good pitches, but I thought it was a productive day.
Coach says fall is a time to make adjustments, and when you make these adjustments, you tend to get worse before you get better. With Bren Spillane's bat being Exhibit A, Coach thinks the players are starting to hit stride with the changes they have made. The Illini resume World Series action this Friday at 4 p.m. back at Illinois Field. In Urbana, I'm Mike O'Neill, UI7 News.
It's a really young team they got there.
That's amazing. 16-0 victory. That's lots of potential.
A lot of potential. Hopefully they can get back to that Big Ten championship form they had 2 years ago. But that's all we have for you tonight. Thank you for tuning in with us this afternoon.
For more information on these stories, be sure to like our Facebook page or follow us on Twitter at UI7 Newsbreak. Thanks again, and have a great night.
Man,